In this short video, I would like to discuss a possible approach for using MakeHuman generated mesh together with Blender and Rigify in order to animate those meshes. And I would like to start from a recent work made by Palmius, who is the author of the MakeHuman plugin for Blender. He posted a video where I showed how to use a mesh created with MakeHuman and Rigify to create an armature which makes it possible to animate the character in Blender. This is the base character. I choose the default one with some clothes, the tongue, teeth, and eyes, no rig. I loaded into Blender and I applied all the transforms in order to have the mesh aligned with the origins, and with import human I imported the meshes, the fold body and eyes, the clothes, the teeth and tongue into Blender. Then I select them, and you see here set up a Rigify, which has been recently added by Joel in the plugin. If I click it, the plugin will generate a rig for this character. We have to wait a few seconds. Maybe I will edit out this part of the video. That takes a long time, especially for the face. We still have to wait. What the plugin basically... oh, there we go. And this is the rig generated by Rigify. If I go into pose mode, you can see the rig has different colors for different... unfortunately, I don't know why I cannot get the rig user interface in the layout workspace, but if I create a new layout and there we go. This is the user interface for dealing with the rig, and I will show you how the rig works briefly. Okay, we have for instance the leg inverse cinematic. If I choose it, I can grab, and as you see, only the body mesh has been parented with the rig. What did the plugin do? Well, basically what the plugin did was to take... let's go back to object mode. Well, we can delete everything. What the plugin did was to add an armature, a human armature. This is the Rigify human armature, and then using details helper, the armature has been positioned within the mesh according to certain rules. And then this armature, we go to boss mode and select here, generate rig. This armature, which is a Rigify so-called meta rig, generated the final rig with the user interface we saw here. Now the meta rig is being generated, and this is the approach used by Joel, and this is the same meta rig we saw before. Now I would like to show you a different approach to deal with rigifying characters created with MakeHuman. If we select a rig from MakeHuman, in this case I choose the game engine rig, and if we import now the object into Blender, we will now have a character and a rig. This rig is already applied to the mesh, so if I go to pose mode, for instance, let me first select the rig. Let's go in pose mode. We can use this rig to animate, you see, the character. Why? Because the character, if we go to in this case default body, let's go back in object mode, select default body. You see that the character comes with a few defined vertex groups, which are named after the bones. We go now to the armature, and we see this is the bones. We select the bones. You see, these are the names of the bones, which are the same of the vertex groups defined in the mesh. We can go back to see the mesh and see that there are also some some modifiers. The interesting one is the armature modifier, which is linked to the default object, and it is using the vertex groups. The default object is the armature, the rig that I applied here in MakeHuman. And so we have the armature, the bones, the modifier, and the vertex groups related to each bone. So I created a script, a very basic script. I have to choose the armature, default, okay. I created a basic script, and this script will convert the rig created by MakeHuman into a rigifiable meta rig, and then the script will also generate a user interface for the final rig, and then it will rename the vertex groups of each mesh with the names of the new bones, new deforming bones created by Rigify. And after that, we will modify the object of the armature modifiers of each mesh in order to point to the newly created rig. So there we go, we run the script. As I said, I did this, well, I forgot to align, sorry, select all to apply the transformation, so I have to go back, import human, select all, apply all transforms, okay, select the rig, go back to scripting, run the script, and there we have our rig. Same stuff, no okay, so remove this one, create a new layout workspace, let's go, and there we have also our user interface. Now, since I used the original vertex groups of the mesh, you will see that the mesh is okay. Let's get just the head. So I can rotate, and as you see, now we can try the arm inverse kinematics, and as you see, also the clothes are legs are modified by the armature without any extra work. Okay, that's it. I started working on the default, this one, the default skeleton rig preset of MakeHuman, in order to have the possibility to move the face and so on and so forth. Once again, let me see if I can. If we move, you see that the original rig has the weight painting already applied to the mesh. So I created a script. I started to work in order to modify, in order to generate user interface for this face rig. I forgot to load it. So let's go. This one. I can run it. And as you see, I will get. Okay, let's a rig. Viewport display in front. And but this user interface must be modified, but I can still work with it. For instance, I can take this is the tongue, this is the nose, This is the jaw, as you can see. Okay, let's move this one. We can move the tongue. The tongue is working. Okay, not perfectly moved, but as you see, everything is working. I can use okay, so that's it. If you want to have more information about how to use the Rigify interface, CGDive made a very nice set of tutorials for using for using Rigify in order to create every possible meta rig and so generate a final rig with Rigify. Thank you very much. That's it.